Welcome to another client-side chat. Today I am very, very pleased to welcome Megan Guarducci to the client-side chat. And Megan, you're EHS Manager, Safety Manager for Mid-Valley. Is that correct?
Yes, I'm the EHS Compliance Manager for Mid-Valley Disposal here in the Central Valley.
Great, great. What is it that you guys do?
So we're a large solid waste management company. We expand from Chowchilla all the way down to about Visalia and expand west to about Coalinga and Avenal. So I think we're one of the largest haulers here in the Central Valley.
Well, I wouldn't doubt that. I see your vehicles all over the place, and I know you guys are very much involved with the community. It's not just dealing with waste disposal or any kind of recycling, which I think you guys do too, correct?
We do recycling, we do organics as well, and we are very, we're out there in the community constantly with customer outreach and education.
Oh, that's excellent. And I know during this COVID time, you and your company never really stopped. In fact, as a safety professional, I'd be willing to bet you actually worked longer and harder during this time. So, but how has that affected your business with regard to dealing with COVID and kind of the stay-at-home orders and all that?
Yeah, so we're definitely in a unique situation. We are essential workers, so we've had to follow all the news from the beginning. I actually heard about the outbreak in Wuhan in January. January 30th is whenever I heard about it. And I sent out a toolbox talk, just start off there to kind of just how to prevent exposure through hand washing and not touching your face. Simple things, kind of like how you would manage the flu, right? So that was kind of the kickoff for us. In February, I started to hear from our vendors that we couldn't get the PPE we needed. We couldn't get the masks. We were delayed on gloves, those types of things. So even in February, we felt the effects. And beginning in March, we really, first off, we have amazing top-down support here at Mid-Valley Disposal. Our owners, they care about the employees, they care about the environment 100%. We've been meeting on a weekly basis, if not twice a week, as an executive committee to put together all of the procedures that we as a company want to implement. We follow county guidelines or the city of Fresno's guidelines, and it has definitely changed the look and feel of our company. For example, our drivers, they're so used to coming in the morning and getting their coffee and being able to enjoy some chats with their coworkers. Now we have social distancing and additional sanitizing measures in place. So at each of our locations, we've actually installed these COVID-19 stations. And what they are is portable restroom units, hand washing stations, bleach refill stations, and paperwork drop-off bins. So with the staggered shifts, as well as the COVID-19 questionnaires, these are the only real areas that our drivers have any sort of contact with other employees. So that has been a huge change here. We, record everyone's time in now, so nobody touches time clocks or anything like that. And they have to call in their timeout over the radio. Paperwork is actually placed in each of their trucks every single day so that they don't have to touch any paperwork from any of the employees or dispatchers inside of the office. And all of the drivers have been given bleach bottles for their individual cabs so they can sanitize their cabs on their own. So it's really just been a culture change here that has had to happen really quickly. And because we've had that top-down support here at Mid-Valley, it's been a pretty smooth transition for us. I think that if we had more pushback or if we had people who maybe didn't believe everything that was going on, it would be a lot harder. But because we have that support, we've been fortunate to be able to avoid situations where we've had an outbreak here.
That's great. My gosh, talk about preparation from seeing it come, long before it ever really well, I guess visibly showed up here where we work. And then, having to go through that culture shock, I can imagine what that's like because, working is kind of like a social event. I mean, for most people, they do have an opportunity to have a coffee break and joke around and check in on people and see how things are going. So that's got to be hard. I can imagine some of the challenges with that. I mean, coffee's a great thing in the morning. I know that. So moving forward, I mean, we're now coming out of the stay-at-home orders. I know you all are seeing more and more traffic on the streets, and economic activity is starting to pick up and everything. How are you prepared, or are you thinking of making any changes as you continue forward right now?
So one of the big changes that we actually made beforehand was with our safety meetings. So what we did is we transitioned our safety meetings to Vimeo videos, and we send them out via text blasts. And that's something I don't think that we're going to change. Because of our unique situation as essential workers, we kind of already are phased in. So I feel like we're not really going to make any adjustments to our sanitizing, facial coverings, or social distancing protocols unless something dramatically changes. We get a vaccine or we get orders that, say that we no longer have to do these things and it's safe to do so. One other thing I did want to mention that I think was super cool about the company and what we did during this time is it was very hard for people to find food at the beginning, especially certain meats and those types of things. So over the last 10 weeks, Mid-Valley Disposal's owners have either cooked or sourced food from local vendors and have prepared 3,800 meals for our employees over that time. And it has been such a morale booster, I think, and has been encouraging for all of the employees to know that we're there for them and that we care and that we want them to know that they're family here. So that's something that has stopped since then. We now do Friday ice creams. So that's still kind of something, but we have stopped that since the rephasing has started. But really, the only thing I think that we are going to kind of loosen up on is our customer education and outreach. It has been very limited because some businesses are still opening slowly, but as they do open, our recycling coordinators will end up going back out there and having face-to-face time with our customers, obviously with, the precautions in place and adhering to our facial covering requirements and such. But really, I think those are the only things that we're going to change at this point, unless something dramatically changes.
Yeah, I have to tell you, that's fantastic with the food. I know there was a period of time where, getting provisions on the store shelves was very difficult. And your company did an awful lot of good here, not only just for their employees, but the local community, economically speaking, too, to at least help them transition through that trough that we've experienced. Love the plans into the future, the fact that you haven't had any events at all in the company, and certainly there's opportunity with minor interfacing with public that could certainly occur. But nice job. You guys did a great job with this. So, hey, thanks for joining us today. I tell you what, if you're okay, would love to check with you in the future just to see how kind of things are going. I know that a lot of businesses are planning on keeping these things in place until, things like you're talking about. That's a great thing. So, but thank you very much, Megan. Really appreciate your time.
Thank you for having us. And, we would love to talk in the future as well as things change. I mean, this has been something where we've had to stay on top of it, executive order after executive order, changes and changes. I'm sure we're going to see more in the future. So would love to.
Sounds good. All right. Thanks, Megan.